Hi everybody, it's Cynthia again, and today I am here to talk not only pop culture profits, but specifically pop culture plush. Now, when I was a kid, we called these stuffed animals, and it's been a hard road for me to learn not to call them stuffed animals when I sell them on eBay. But on eBay, they are plush. Sometimes referred to as plush toys. I guess because they feel so soft. They are like plush. But here's my thing about plush. For a long time, I used to buy a ton of it. Then I stopped because I had so much and I wasn't really getting a good price for it. Then I started to realize I'm missing out a lot by not checking the plush counter. And I went to our local church charity shop this week and found all kinds of really amazing plush. And I realized I want to talk to you about it. Because there are some things to look for. And there are some things that you should automatically leave behind. Now, I'm going to start all this by saying there's always an exception to the rule. For example, generic teddy bears pretty much don't sell. There's too many of them. It's tough. It's a tough sell. However, if you're looking at a Duffy Disney bear, which you may not even realize is Disney because of the way it's made, that could be worth a lot of money. And I do mean a lot. I'm talking like $800 to $1,000 a lot. But in general, common animals, dogs, cats, and Beanie Babies of most variety have little to no value on eBay. Now, if you get a bag of plush for free or 50 cents, you want to lot them up together, somebody may buy them from you. I have done that. And I've sold things that, like I sold a Gund first, I think it's called Baby's First Teddy Bear, which is pretty generic looking, but it's extremely soft, and somebody did buy one of those. You will get people who are trying to replace a beloved stuffed toy that they had. But in general, we're going to talk in general terms when you're going quick through the store, what you want to look for. One more caveat, let's also say that unless you're looking at an $800 Duffy, you are looking for clean toys, because cleaning toys is a pain. So look for clean toys that have all the parts they're supposed to have, and preference to have their tag, or at the very least, what's called their tush tag. And we'll talk about that in a second. So we're going to look at the ones I have here and give you some of the tips on what I look for in plush when I go to the store. So we're going to start off. I'm going to move her out of the way, and I'm going to move her out of the way. Actually, let me start with this one. No, I'm going to start with this other one. So this is a new kind of Disney plush that is starting to turn up in stores. And I say starting to because what this isn't that old. This is a Tsum Tsum. I assume that's how it's pronounced. T-S-U-M, T-S-U-M. Disney makes Tsum Tsums in a variety of sizes. They make little plastic ones that are this big. They also make what's called minis, which look just like these. So they're kind of this funky capsule shape. Excuse me, beast, lean over. So they're this capsule shape. Let me move him back. He is not going to hang out properly. Okay, so you can see they're kind of hamster shape, actually, now that I look at them. And they've got little tiny feet, and what they are all of the different Disney properties, but done in this funky hamster shape. The minis are about this big. You will find them stacked in Disney stores and some other stores. I think I've seen them at Target. I've seen them at Walmart. And there are, like all collectibles, there's some exclusives, Disney store exclusives that you have to go get there. They do make them in plastic, I said as well, so don't be confused when you're looking online that you aren't talking about the plastic one. I'm going to do a weird thing here because I think something is going on with my camera. Excuse me one moment while I put my finger in the way. Okay, we're good. So this one is obviously Alice in Wonderland. Now, as I said, they're fairly new in the grand scheme of things. So this is the first one I've actually seen turn up in a thrift shop. This is what's called a small. And you know what? After I said clean, I realized she's got a little bit of a mark right there. I just noticed that. Didn't see it before. Might have to deal with that. She's called a small. The tiny ones we said this are called minis, and then there's really big ones that are like almost the size of a couch pillow. They're about 11 inches tall. Those are called mediums. sorry, the 11-inch ones are medium, so bigger than this, almost twice the size of this. And then there's jumbo ones that are like the size of a pillow. Those are really sought after, very, very collectible. There are also sites online where you can go look at full collections, everything that's available. If you have a collection of Tsum Tsums, so for example, if you have all of the Alice ones that were made in this size, they sell better together. I got this one for about $1 at the store, and she should sell anywhere from the $10 to $14 range, depending on if I hold out and wait for a little bit more. And you can see they've got kind of this like textured, looks like a towel. They're real cute. They're adorable. And again, because people collect them, definitely worth picking up for cheap, under $2. There are a few that are worth a lot more, but you'll have to do your homework. Look up Tsum Tsums online on eBay and see what they're selling for. So that's our Alice Tsum Tsum. Now, let's move a few people over here. These, sitting at the edge of our little wave here, these guys are kind of like, they almost look like Tsum Tsums in the sense that they're kind of little plush, fuzzy little things. These are called Itty Bittys. If I can get the tag for you here. I know my camera doesn't really focus well. Itty Bittys. Now, Itty Bittys, let me bring Alice back here for a moment. This is the tag I was talking about. This is the tush tag. And if you can see, this is a Disney Store. I think this was a Disney Store exclusive, and it says Disney Store on here. Without this tag, I would not know that. I'd still recognize that she was a Tsum Tsum, but I wouldn't know if where she came from. She came from the Disney Store. Now, this little Itty Bitty is missing its tag. Someone has cut it off because it was annoying, and that would have told us more about the product. Sometimes there's a date on there, which is really helpful. Now look, these don't come from Disney, even though they're Disney properties. These were put out by Hallmark, and they were sold individually, just like Tsum Tsums, in little cases at the Hallmark stores, and they were sold in groupings. So once again, if you have them boxed in a grouping, they sell really well. If you have the grouping without the box, they sell well, and even individually, they sell for various prices. Now, I might group these, I might not. So I've got Tinkerbell. She's got her tag there. I've got Jasmine, who I think is just the cutest little thing. She's also missing her tush tag. And we have Piglet. Oh, look. He has his tag. Only at Hallmark. So it had Hallmark back here, so we knew that. But that tells us more. And it also tells us if someone's a real diehard collector, they're going to want that tag on there. So mention, when you list these, make sure you mention whether or not the tush tag is there. I know you're taking pictures, but, you know, or take a picture of it so people know. So they're kind of designed to sit with it tucked under his little butt, I guess. So these run anywhere from a couple of dollars up to, I'd say, about 10 if you've got a rare one, or you just happen to have one that somebody needs and nobody else has it. I could put these two little the girls together, Tinkerbell and Jasmine, and I might or might not include Piglet with it as well. I might have to look, or I might hang on to Piglet and see if I can come across more from the series. Just now starting to see these as well pop up, so I might hang on and see what I get. So the lesson here again is Disney plush is almost always a good buy if it's inexpensive. These new ones, the Tsum Tsums and these little Itty Bitties, I think are a particularly good find. The beanies, because I said no Beanie Babies, but the Disney Beanie Babies, some of those have value, some of them don't. If I get a good price, I'll pick them up and lot them together, and you can usually sell them that way. Disney Big Plush, like if you can find a giant Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, very popular character. Mickey Mouse's, not so much, just because they're so common. So again, look for the rare characters. As a rule of thumb, look for characters that you don't recognize that have a Disney tag on them, and chances are they're fairly rare and more interesting to people. If I was going to spend more than $2, I would probably always look up a Disney just to make sure, because there's so many variations, and mostly you're looking at size and condition, obviously. So these are our little bitties, Itty Bitties. Definitely grab those when you see them. These also don't come, they come in something other than Disney. I think they also come in Star Wars. Well, that's Disney. I think there's a Snoopy set. I think there's different sets, so look for those. Now, also from Hallmark is this guy. Whoops. Now, when I first saw him, I thought he was a Tsum Tsum as well, but I realized he's more round than capsule shaped, than hamster shaped, and he is a Hallmark fluff ball. Star Wars, Chewbacca. He originally sold for $5.99. Yes, $6 for this little guy. And of course, there was a whole series of them. I found this one in the craziest place, on sale at my Kinko's. We went to drop a package off, and they had him marked down to $2. If they'd had more, I would have bought them, especially if they'd had other characters, because this is definitely something, again, that sells better if you have the grouping, if you've got all the characters. But there's still value. I think that these are not being made. I think these were a Hallmark. I think Hallmark phased this particular one out. I don't know if they're still making fluff balls, but I think they phased this one out. I could be wrong. Correct me if I am. I'm happy for that. So I grabbed it. I would generally not pick up Star Wars items because they're too common, but these little weird little plush things, people do seem to like. So again, I'm thinking probably $10 ship, maybe $12.50 if I hold out. Now, these last guys, I actually want to show you one other thing. Let me move my little babies here for a second. And I'm going to move my camera, if you'll hang on for one moment. Over here, what you see in that corner here, this is a pillow, which is kind of like plush because it's soft and soft. This is an anime, a very well-known anime called Attack on Titan. Now, I didn't know well, I knew it was anime from the eyes. I did not know it was Attack on Titan. I texted my expert, my son, and he went instantly, oh yeah, and he even named the characters. Anime stuff can do really well for you. The downside is there are many, many, many Chinese sellers that sell this so inexpensively, I don't even know how they manage, that sell these kinds of things. So if you go on right now and look up Attack on Titan pillow on eBay, you will see hundreds of listings sold and unsold and waiting to be sold for pillows at like, oh gosh, like under $10 shipped. It's crazy. You know, $6, $7 shipped. And I can't do that. Now, the advantage is I think there's some people that don't want to take a chance buying it from outside the country because they're afraid it won't show up or it might take too long. So I think I can ask a little bit more and get a little bit more because it's going to come from here in California. This particular style pillow I did not find, so I'm hoping that's a rare find. So yeah, pillows like this, same thing, Disney pillows, you'd be surprised. Pillows actually do better than you would think. This one came with the insert. Worst case, you can sell it without the insert flat, and it is so cheap to mail. That's the other great thing about selling plush is there's nothing to break. You can pop these babies usually into a padded a poly bag, and they go pretty darn cheap. Now we're going to wrap up with discussion of my other favorite type of plush to buy that always sells really well for me. This guy, having just said that, this guy's a little bit of an exception. I'll explain to you why in a second, but let's take a look at it. So this guy, let me see if I can make him talk for you. It's a little hard to hear. So he talks. Now, when I saw him, he caught my eye because he's kind of Gilman-ish. I love Creatures of the Black Lagoon. And then I looked at the tag. Now, if you can't read this, it says Activision Publishing. Now, I did not have my glasses on properly, and I did not notice that it said 2012. I probably would have got him anyway, because I literally got him for $1. But the 2012 makes a difference. Not a huge difference, because 2012 is still kind of older. What caught my eye was this Activision. Activision is a video game company, and video game plush, in general, do pretty darn well. Even the more modern repops of Mario and all the characters from Super Mario, you see a lot of those. Zelda, Legend of Zelda, you see a lot of those. They are remaking those, and even the remakes will sell for $10 to $15. This guy is actually a Skylanders character, which is a newer game. It's not an old game. And because of that, he, again, might sell for about 10. I'd say probably in that range conservatively. I might get 10 with a little shipping on top. I'm actually thinking, I've already listed him, but I'm thinking I should go back in and mention that even though he talks, he doesn't talk very loud. So when I saw Activision, absolutely, I grabbed it. Didn't even look it up. I just grabbed it. But he was not my real find of the day. He was a good find, but he wasn't the major find. These crazy guys were my big find. Let me come back here so you can get a better look at them. Again, they caught my eye because they were weird. Weird is good. And then I saw this tag. Now, right before I saw this, I found a t-shirt with this same information on it. WildStar is a game, Carbine and NCSoft, Carbine Studios. So it said Carbine Studios on the shirt that I found. And I know NCSoft is a video game company. So this guy is a video game character, plush, right there, I liked him. He's also got this little button right here, which is more important than you know. So I tried to look this little fellow up, and I couldn't find it. Now, I looked him up by looking at this back here. He is a Rousdower plushie. See, even they call him plush. And then there again it says WildStar. Good importance of the tag, because if I didn't have this tag and I didn't have this tag, I would not have known he was a video game guy. So when I looked this up, it turns out that he is a promotional giveaway that this video game company made. And I think a year or more ago, I'm not sure how long ago, they only gave these away. You can still find the giveaways online if you search the name of the character, and you'll see companies that were giving away codes for to play the game and one of these characters. Because he is a promotional item and it looks like was never actually put up for sale, he has a lot more value. He sells for, believe it or not, $35 to up to $60, depending on his condition and depending on whether he has this little button. And if you'll notice, I have two. When I looked in there, I could not believe it. There were two of them. So I'm thinking because they also had the t-shirt, I think that this company itself might have donated a bunch of leftovers to the charity shop. And it makes me wonder what else they have that I missed. Now, this guy does not have his little pin in his ear. So he's actually going to sell for a little bit less than this one. And ironically, this one the tag is in worse condition. I considered moving the pin to this one because the tag is in better condition on this one. But I think I'll split the difference. So between these two guys, I could conservatively pull in $70. Can you believe that? I paid about $1 each because they made me a deal when I bought all the plush together. So I actually paid less than $1. If you count these, the little guys, this is one item as $1, $1, $1, $1. That's how that worked out. Yeah. And I'm thinking they're going to sell fairly quickly too, because there aren't a lot of them up right now. Oh wait, I think actually there are none up right now. I might be the only one selling these. I love that. Talk about ka-ching. So that is my lesson for you for today about pop culture plush. Look for video game toys. The only way you're going to find video game toys is they're generally unusual characters. They're not usually a dog or a cat. They're usually something kind of odd looking like this, which is sort of a sheep with goat horns. I don't know what the hell he is. Oops, sorry. But look for things like that, like the Gillman. Look for odd characters. And then look at your video game names. Manufacturers. Nintendo, Activision, Sony. Look for PlayStation note messages, mentions. I'm sure I'm missing another really big video game company, but look them up online. Look up video game plush. There's video game collectible category on eBay, and you'll start to see and learn some of these. So this is what you're going to look for next time you go out. You're going to look for video game guys. You are going to look for all different size Tsum-Tsums, and if you can find, pick up Fuzzballs, Itty Bittys from Disney, any of those things like that, and you are going to do really well in your plush. Easy peasy to store, easy peasy to ship, so light, and very good money in nice, clean plush. I would love to hear about your plush scores. What kind do you sell? What have you ever sold? Did you find a really cool plush that just knocked your socks off and you sold it for a ton of money? I will say, I'm not just guessing here. I sold a video game. It was a duck. from a video game, and he had a drum that played music or something. I got it in a bag full of plush. I didn't even buy it for that. I bought the bag for the Disney that I saw in there. I paid $3 for the entire bag. The duck was unexpected, and it sold for $45. And it sold like within a week. I'm not kidding. Video game collectors love this stuff. So look for it. Dig it through those plush bins and find, especially these little babies that you'll find buried at the bottom of the bin that nobody else saw. That's it for me today and my plushies. Again, please do give me a thumbs up. Please do subscribe and follow. And I'm going to sign off wishing you more pop culture profits.